Hey everybody, welcome to the Monday, October 25th live stream, studentloanjustice.org. My name is Alan Collins. Forget all that stuff. Hopefully you guys know by now. Not one more dollar. Hashtag not one more dollar. Why do I say that, you ask? Well, over the past 2 weeks, we have gotten a stunning number of submissions. Like, we get submissions all the time, right? But just over the past 2 weeks, and this is really funny, at the very end of like four of our submissions was a sentence to the effect of, I will never pay another dime into these loans, or not one more dollar, or never will I ever pay one more fucking cent on my student loans. Stuff like that. It was like four or five, maybe even six. It's a thing, dude. I'm like to think that I have a pretty good intuitive feel for trends in this space, seeing as how I live and breathe the student loan issue, unfortunately. And that's a thing, guys. That's a thing. So if you look down, you'll see a whole bunch of tweets that I took these things that I found and that people sent. And we are retweeting cool tweets that we have gotten from people where at the very end they say, no more. I'm not paying anymore. And guys, this is just one more critical piece of evidence to prove that the federal lending system is done. It's toast. It's finished. It is in the mid stages, I would say, of rigor mortis. They can try to turn this lending system back on. And you know what's going to happen? Nothing. Or at least not much. Frankly, I'll be surprised if even 25% of the borrowers resume making payments. And of those, a whole ton of those will drop out in the few months after February 1st. So it's hard to tell the future these days because things are happening so quickly. Things are breaking fast around this issue, guys. We've been doing this for 16 years now. By the way, if you're new to the group, welcome. If you have any questions or comments, throw them out. I'm glad to respond to any and all that I see. But guys, we've been doing this for a long time. And this lending system is going away. It is a dead man walking. It is in the death spiral. It is in the It is in the final throes of its death spiral. So I don't know what else. If you want some hard data to support that, look, even before the pandemic, 80% of everyone was either not paying, and that's like literally half of all borrowers, or they were paying, but their loan balances were going up. So they were never going to be able to repay their loans. 80%. You know, the default subprime home mortgage, the subprime home mortgage crisis had a default rate of 20%. We are looking at a default rate, even before the pandemic, of something like 80% for federal student loans, guys. I kid you not. We now know that the class of 2004, people who borrowed less than a third of what people are borrowing today for college, 2004, their default rate is their cumulative lifetime actual true default rate, 40%. So those two pieces of data right there are all you need to know. And this is very solid data, believe me. We take great care in never saying anything factually incorrect. And what I just said is vetted, researched thoroughly. So, guys, we got this. The lending system is going away. At this point, in my humble opinion, it is both unwise and unpatriotic to ever pay another dollar on your federal student loans. It just is. Now, right now, some of the more concerned people on our group I know are saying, yeah, but what if they garnish my wages or take my tax return? Guys, you need to put on your big boy pants and you need to recognize this failed lending system for what it is. At this point, it's unpatriotic to ever make another payment on your loans. Don't feed the beast. This is a dangerous, big government, weaponized student loan scam perpetuated on us by a number of people, most of them in Washington, D.C., some of them in Wall Street. We don't have to take this shit, people. We do not have to take this shit. How long are you going to walk around with your tail in between your legs, allowing this federal lending scam, the worst, the biggest, most pernicious, most ridiculous lending scam in the history of our country? How long are you going to let it continue? Let me just read you just a couple of these tweets just to give you an idea for where people are at now. Give me a minute. By the way, look at while I'm doing this, look at the pumpkins behind me. Like, look at those pumpkins. We're having a pumpkin contest. Carve a pumpkin that describes or expresses your feelings about student loans. I haven't finished mine yet, but you kind of get the idea. The guy on the bottom is us. The big nasty one on top is, the lenders, the lending system, the Department of Education. Sally Mae, Navient, Betsy DeVos, if you will, whatever, but yeah. Guys, this lending system is done. It's toast. Get used to that reality and act accordingly. The worst thing you can do is to pay money into this ridiculous trap. This debt trap, unconstitutional debt trap. Founders are on our side, by the way. Let me just read you a couple of these tweets to give you an idea for what we're seeing from our members, which I've never seen such strong stuff before. And by the way, we're trying to get hashtag not one more dollar trending, so help with that if you're on Twitter. Barbara, Maine. After careful thought and research, it is clear the student loan system is another form of predatory lending. The restrictive nature of forgiveness is laughable. I am forgiving myself for being a pawn. No further payments. Period. That's Barbara in Maine. I love that line. Forgive yourself. This is not a bad borrower problem. This is the worst lending scam in U.S. history. I kid you not. It's not your fault. This thing was put upon us. Yeah, forgive yourself. That's such a great line, Barbara. I love that. I'm not going to say this. Well, first name, initial V, state of Colorado. I have been in default since 2017. I feel it is my civic duty to no longer support what I believe has become a predatory lending system. I will not pay. Here's oh, let me go down. We did a bunch of this. If you're not on Twitter, by the way, or if you're on Twitter, follow us. Student Loan Jus #1, JUS #1. Susan from Colorado borrowed $20,000, paid back $40,000. Now owe $110,000. Crooked systems don't deserve participation. Not one more dollar. Period. Thank you, Susan. Susan is where I got that hashtag from. Michael in Pennsylvania. After careful consideration with my internal committee, I have concluded that the student loan system was intentionally constructed to simply keep people in debt. Therefore, I will never pay another fucking dime. Pardon Michael's French and mine, I guess. I could go on. Just a couple more here. Jay, New Jersey. Biden is out of his, I suspect, partially senile mind. 45 million people after 2 years to resume shoveling money down an endless pit again? Fuck off in advance, Maximus. Maximus is the company that's supposedly replacing Navient. We'll see how it goes. Last line that Jay from New Jersey says. Not another fucking penny. Period. Done. Period. Anonymous from Texas. Once Sally Mae, Navient, and Fedloan get their crooked fingers into my student loans, I realized that the strategy of an impossible-to-pay loan was in play. Very astute. I will not pay even a dime back once the relief pause is lifted. Here's one from North Carolina. This will be my last one. Today, my 35,000 student loan would cost me 169,000 K. Or the payment plan they put me on would be for 29 years. I'm 60 now, so I'd be 89, and would be over $315,000. $35,000 loan. I'm not going to play into their rigged game anymore. Not one more dollar will I pay. I happen to know a male in North Carolina. So you get the idea, guys. I hope you're starting to get the picture. Guys, so right now, I'm sure, a bunch of people that are like, yeah, but what about this? What about that? Okay, here's the thing, some easy things you can do. If you are not in default, you can keep your loans out of default, at least legally, technically, by making a payment of any size every 269 days. Legally, they cannot default your loans if you've made a payment within the past 270 days. So, something you might want to know about. Another thing you can do to avoid wage garnishment, you can become your own boss. You can be a 1099 contractor. A lot of people do it. You may want to ask your employer about it if you have an employer. Thing about tax garnishment. How hard is it to arrange, fill out your W-2 forms so that at the end of the year, you owe a little bit of tax, not the government owing you a big refund? If there's no refund, if there's no return, there's no refund to garnish. So those are 3 things you can do. Frankly, another way to avoid wage garnishment is just tell your employer. Hopefully you have a good boss. Hopefully you can look him eye to eye and say, look, boss, this lending system is failed by all rational metrics. It's a massive scam. Tell him your story. Do what you need to do. Get him, and the most important thing you need to tell him or her is that the people that ask for a wage garnishment, they are not the Department of Education. They would like your boss to think that they are the Department of Education. They come rolling into town acting like they're the fucking federal marshals. They're not. They're a 2-bit boiler room collection company. And if your boss tells them to pound sand, they will go away. So ask your boss to simply ask them to produce a court order if they want to do a garnishment. That's what my boss did many years ago. Never heard from him again. So I'm not saying it's fun, but guys, I'm telling you, when February 1st rolls around, of the 45 million borrowers, I'll be stunned if even 10 million borrowers start repaying. The vast majority of people, 35, 36, 37 million people, they will not pay. You really think they're going to try and garnish 37 million people's wages? Come on. We got this. There's power in numbers. I know for the majority of your adult life, more than likely, you've been walking around with your tail between your legs, afraid of this stupid, fucking, unconstitutional, cheesy rat trap of a lending scam. You don't have to do that anymore. The people are on our side. We are on our side. We control this lending system, not the other way around. And we can delete it from existence in a day when we decide to. So put on your big boy pants. I don't know what else to tell you, but don't be a chump. Don't be a fool. This lending system is done. So, let's see here. Oh, a couple comments here. Jason Spots says, student loans equals lifelong indentured servitude. Right, exactly. You know, the Founding Fathers called for uniform bankruptcy laws in the Constitution ahead of the power to declare war, ahead of the power to raise an army, because this sort of a lending scam, this sort of tyranny, is precisely what they wanted to avoid. They are on our side, and that means a lot. Jason also says people that tried to improve themselves intellectually and economically are being punished via student loans. Right. It's the stupidest thing in the world. We say we want to educate our people. When Lyndon B. Johnson rolled out the student loan system in 1965, he declared the loans would be free of interest. The point was not to punish the people. The point was not to conquer and enslave the people. The point was to educate the people so we'd be a stronger country. Now, there are a few very dark, very evil people out there in the world. I don't throw the word evil around very lightly. I don't use it very often, but there's some very bad, dark, sinister, I'd say evil people that view this as a punishment tool or a enslavement mechanism. They are the tyrants. If we were living 250 years ago, they'd be working for the king. They're a tiny, tiny fraction of people. They prey upon greed. They live near or in and around Washington, D.C., the swamp, maybe Wall Street. And they are cowards. They are cowards, people. We've been doing this for 16 years. We've been on 60 Minutes. We've been on all the stuff. We have been shouting from the rooftops loudly and proudly and boldly and telling the truth. And I can tell you that everywhere we go, the bad guys, they scurry like cockroaches when you turn the lights on. They got nothing, dudes. They have nothing. We have everything. So whatever you have that's holding you back from helping us, from going to our website and like going to the daily update and doing like a month's worth of our daily actions, whatever's holding you back from standing up and say, fuck this shit, I'm not doing this anymore, pardon my French. Whatever's holding you back, you need to throw that off because we need you. We don't need you walking around with your tail in between your legs. Jason knows. Jason's been with us for years. He's unafraid. And it's cathartic. It makes you feel good to fight the right fight because remember, this is not just your fight. This is the fight of 45 million people, whether they know about it or not. Spread the word about this group, by the way, because we're the tip of the spear. This is about 45 million people in the country. This is about the country. And this is about tens or hundreds of millions of people. They're going to follow in our footsteps. Hey, Jason also says, Alan, you can change your job faster than you can change your socks, like I do to avoid wage garnishments. Right, like I said, and it's not hard to be a contractor, guys. It's not hard. Google 1099 contractor. It's pretty easy to do. But you know, every dollar that you feed into this beast works against us, works against you, works against us. Now, nobody likes to, fight the federal government. No. We're not doing that, guys. We're not looking to overthrow anything. We're not looking for revolution. We're not violent. We don't break the law. We don't need to. This is about a broken corrupted Department of Education. The other federal agencies in Washington, D.C., I have noticed, they have lately been putting some very significant political distance between themselves and the Department of Education. The Department of Education is becoming a pariah in Washington, D.C. because people can smell shit, pardon my French, and the Department of Education is covered with it. So, not paying on your loans, helping us to fight is literally the most patriotic thing that you can possibly do. You should be proud of it. I am over the moon with pride. Not pride, but I am proud. So yeah, pride, whatever. I feel very privileged to be fighting this battle on behalf of my fellow countrymen. They don't know, men and women. They don't know that we're fighting for them. And like I said, spread the word about this group, guys. There is true power in numbers. But we got this. We got this. The only thing that we need to finally put the final nail in the coffin of this lending system is you to help. Grab a hammer. It's not hard. Swing it. All right, guys. I'm going to leave it there at that. I'm going to keep it short tonight. We are on a roll, guys. We're on a roll. Go to our website. Do the past month's worth of our daily actions. Find us on Twitter. Student Loan Just #1. Get into this fight. It's your battle. This thing could and must have a good outcome. It should. If everybody does a little bit of effort. If nobody does anything, it's going to have a very bad outcome. It's going to be a years or decades long, painful unwinding. Could be civilly unrestful. It's going to ruin your life. It's going to ruin the life of tens or even hundreds of millions of people in the future. We don't want that bad outcome. We don't want to turn this nation into a police state because of these fucking student loans. Pardon my French. So, come on, guys. Do what you can do. Go to our website. Maybe the last thing I'll say tonight is if you can donate something, it'd be super helpful. We can survive to fight and win this battle on very little, but we can't do it on nothing, guys. We cannot. So please send something in if you can. Okay, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. Give you one last little shot at my pumpkins because I'm starting to get proud of them. We'll see what it finally turns out to be. Make your own. Let's have some fun with this. It's a fun thing to do the right thing once in a while, and this is a great case in point. So good luck. Godspeed. God bless everybody.